Okay, the next three tools we're going to talk about are the blur tool, the sharpen tool, and the smudge tool. Okay, the blur tool blurs out images in the background. The sharpen tool brings images more into focus, and the smudge tool kind of like smudges them. We're going to start with the blur tool. What I want to do here is kind of make it so that everything in this picture is blurred out except the Twin Towers, and that's it. I want it to just the Twin Towers to stand out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blur the background and I'm going to sharpen the towers. Okay, and just like all the other tools, again, our Properties Inspector gives us a few options. Okay, the size, again, sets the size of the brush tip. The shape gives you the shape. I'm going to use a square this time because the majority of the buildings are square. The edge, again, the softness of the brush tip. Same as always, the higher the number, the more soft, or the harder, the lower the number, the softer. And the intensity is how intense do you want this blur. Okay, so I have everything set where I want it. I want my size at 13, so I could go over the buildings. I want my edge at 83, and I want my, intensity at 75. Okay, so I'm going to start blurring them out. So notice how everything in the background now is starting to be kind of out of focus. That's the way I want it. The only thing I want to be able to focus on are the towers. Okay, so I'm blurring everything. Blur tool is nice if you're trying to create a reflection. So I've blurred everything out that I want blurred out. Get one last swoop here along the bottom. Okay, now notice how all that stuff's out of focus. Now what I want to do is I want to take and I want to sharpen those towers. I want them to be really in focus. I want them to stand out. Okay, and again, I'm going to use the square brush tip. My intensity I'm going to lower to 50 simply because I don't want it to look too in focus where it actually turns kind of like black and white. My edge is going to stay at 100 to keep it really, really, really soft. And the size is going to be 18 because that's the size of the towers. Now watch. I'm going to go down over it and look how it becomes more in focus. Alright. Actually, I think that might be too intense. I'm going to undo it. And I'm going to change my edge down to 50 and see how that looks for me. And I actually want to lower my brush size too. Alright, now I'm going to start here. Still don't like it. I'm going to undo it. Okay. And I'm going to try to lessen the intensity as well. Okay. There we go. Now it's starting to bring it in just a little bit of focus without all those bright, bright lines. Okay, so now I have everything blurred out and my towers kind of standing out a little bit more. Now what I want to do is I want to choose my smudge tool and I want to make these clouds blend in more. Okay, so we have, again, options when we choose our smudge tool. We can choose the size of our brush tip, which I want to lower. The edge, again, the intensity, softness or hardness. I want a circle here. Now the pressure is the intensity of the stroke. Where the edge is the softness of the brush tip, how hard or soft, if it was a paintbrush, would the brush tip be hard or would it be soft? Okay, and again, harder, softer. Okay, so I'm going to keep it right here at 50. And now here, the smudge color, if you choose that, you can pick from your colors the color that you're going to smudge. Now I don't want any color, I just want to smudge what's already there, so I uncheck it. And then the entire document means that it'll smudge the layers underneath it as well, which I don't want to do. So I have it, and I'm going to take these clouds and I'm kind of just going to try to smudge them in a little bit. See how the cloud's changing? It doesn't just match all the other ones. from when we used the rubber stamp. I'm going to make my brush tip a little bigger. Not that big. Move it up to 11 here. See how it kind of blends them in? And you could even smudge them into one another so it looks more realistic, like the sky's cloudy. You can actually even smudge a reflection into the water if you wanted to. Okay, I don't like the reflection, so I'm going to undo that. But you get the idea. Okay, so that's the smudge tool, the sharpen tool, and the blur tool.